Tiger and Crane episode 17 begins, where Eunuch Liu waits for the arrival of the chief commander in his castle, but he gets a little late compared to the decided time. Eunuch Liu becomes extremely irritated upon learning that he is still on his way, as the chief had intended to personally investigate the prison. Eunuch Liu's companions laugh at the expected humiliation of the chief, but in the same moment, they see him briskly walking towards them. As soon as Chief bows before Eunuch Liu, he starts reading the order from the king. The letter said that the chief, as the leader of Tiangang Hall, will take 2 groups to Do City. After increasing numbers of sorcerers getting mad, the king needs protection in Dai City, and he chose chief and his sorcerers while Disa Hall received the orders to investigate the matter. The chief is reluctant to fulfill the order, hence, he brings forth his point that the king already has the best troops and sorcerers. If they also leave the capital city, no one will be here to control the situation. But Eunuch Liu took his reasoning as an offense. In his opinion, if they transfer the majority of sorcerers out of the capital, it will decrease the risk of attacks. With this strategy, people will feel secure. When Chief once again argues about this plan, Eunuch Liu angrily warns that they will find another person for the said job. If he is not comfortable with it, the chief immediately takes the order and bows to the king's order. On the other hand, the first master, the grandmother, has a keen eye on the ongoing events. She can see a storm coming in Fulong State. Zixuan is clearly behind what's happening, but no one has proof that he is the culprit, so they can't arrest him. But Zixuan suggests that they can search for and arrest Yimei Ferry and unleash their plan. Grandmother likes the idea. At the same time, Huy punches the sandbag angrily. Zenong sees that he is uncomfortable about something and asks the reason. He shares that in the collection pavilion, he read a statement about the 9-tailed tiger. It says that it is bloody thirsty. Now he is worried that, when all the demons escape the demon-burning pagoda, his mother can be one of them. And it is possible that she is the one killing and making the sorcerers crazy. Zenong wants to know how his mother was in Huy's memories. He remembers that she was so kingly and loving, who can even kill a fly. Zenong advises him to follow his heart and not think badly of his mother, and to divert his attention, she asks Huy to make some food. Short-heighted Huy jumps to get the basket of food ingredients, but both Huy and basket fall down. Zenong runs to save both from falling, and Huy falls into her arms. In a magical moment, they see each other in the eyes and forget about their surroundings. At the same time, Brick calls them, and Zenong throws her on the ground. On the other hand, the chief of Tiangang Hall and grandmother order the sorcerers of Disa Hall to look for Yimei everywhere. Grandmother, as the first master, orders Chief to look for Yimei along with civilian sorcerers, while he asks Zixuan to patrol the capital city day and night so that civilians could be saved from any unexpected danger. Yanren looks at grandmother and says that she included Zixuan in the plan, but she seems to be deliberately keeping her away from the state's affairs. She reaches grandmother, going out of the palace, and taunts that she can see nepotism in her behavior. She reminds her grandmother that there will be rumors if she keeps her deliberately out of the state's affairs. But her grandmother hates her for winning the position by using illegal methods. That's why she does not trust her capabilities, because a true sorcerer wins through benevolence and compassion, which Yanren lacks. Yanren mocks her grandmother's advice and warns her to change her behavior. She threatened that if her grandmother would not stop showing bias and prefer Zixuan, she would make things worse. Only grandmother's kind attitude towards her can keep her in line. But grandmother, do not fall into her honey trap. She told her that she would protect Zixuan at all costs. The whole capital is full of Yimei's posters. People know her as the weapon that one of our ancestors used, and she is very powerful. Yimei's faithful servant listens to people and goes to report her. On the other hand, the elder master searched for many books in the collection pavilion. He wants to have any clues to search for Yimei. But after a while, he gets tired of futile searches and closes his eyes. Suddenly, he remembers that 500 years ago, his master gave both him and Yimei a spirit essence, so they can find each other. The elder master opens his eyes and immediately uses spirit essence to find Yimei's location, which he successfully locates. At the same time, Yimei's servant brings the news that the whole Fulong Hall is filled with her posters. Disa Hall's troops are dedicatedly finding her everywhere. Hence, she must hide herself here for a while. Yimei knows that eventually she will leave her comfortable place. She loves her flowers here. While Huy's 2 stages of Furba are activated, the last and third completion stages will only activate when Huy achieves mental awakening. In the current state, it seems difficult to activate the last stage. However, Yimei has plans. Suddenly, she finds by her spirit essence that Elder Master is soon coming to meet her. Within a few minutes, Elder Master stands in front of her, asking for the reason for her defiance. Instead of answering about why she freed demons and making sorcerers bonkers in the capital, he wants Elder Master to take tea with her as an old friend. If he wants any answer, then he is no longer welcome here. As an old friend, Elder pleads with her to explain the reason for the disturbance in the whole state. But Ime remains adamant and gives the Elder Master a choice: fight and kill her or go back, because she will give no answer. But Elder Master has no intention of taking revenge. At last, Elder Master asks the most anxious question: why does she want to activate Furba in Huy's body? And what is so special about that boy? But before the Elder Master could get any closer, Ime stopped her by magic. Then she removes the spirit essence spell between them. That helped Elder Master find her and return to her room while Elder Master's body is unable to move by magic. On the other hand, standing in front of the spirit mirror, Yanran promises her brother, assuring him that she wants to help him. But Yan shouts, as he has no trust in her cunning actions. Suddenly, Fairy appears in a secret chamber, asking for her help. She knows that cruel and cunning Yanran won her position as commander-in-chief by using Zixuan's spirit brother. Ime reveals that she is the one who created the spirit locking ritual in the Kai family 5 centuries ago. Fairy discloses that she is the only person who can flawlessly switch spirits between bodies. Once the process is complete, the spirit cannot return. Fairy reminds her of the rivalry that exists between her and grandmother. That way, Yanran will cause irreparable pain to grandmother, who has enormous love for Zixuan. In return, she wants a report of every action taken to arrest her in the state. Ime promises that she will kill grandmother if Yanran acts as she says. To accomplish the plan successfully, Yanran tries to convince Commander Wu to be her partner, and she promises to return his prestigious place in the state. Wu gets shocked to hear that Yanran wants to kill his first master. He refuses to be her partner, but returns. Huy gets really irritated to see Zenong struggling to catch a fish. The way he is trying to hunt the fish using a spear is not appropriate. It is as if she is trying to kill a demon. Huy goes ahead and teaches how to catch a fish with bare hands. In the next moment, he puts his hands in the water and catches a fish. Fish twists in his hand, and to help Huy hold it tightly, Zenong grabs his hands. In that wonderful moment, they could not understand what to do. But Zenong immediately puts fish in the water bucket and mocks Huy for stinking. Huy feels so bad, and with the help of Brick, he takes a flower bath. Brick could not understand why Huy cared for his body odor all of a sudden, while Zenong feels herself trapped in the magical moment when she accidentally grabs Huy's hands. Zixuan patrolled the streets of the capital along with other sorcerers. On his return, Manju and grandmother inform him about the 6 sorcerers. She found that these sorcerers did not commit murder in their right minds. For some reason, their souls escaped the body when they got mad. It was like they were living corpses. Grandmother reveals that it looks like someone has stolen the forbidden skill from the collection pavilion. Only the chiefs from 3 houses can access these skills. Manju has doubts that she saw Zixuan go inside the secret pavilion once, but she is not sure. The grandmother stops Manju from making unrealistic assumptions without sufficient proof. She wants to enter the collection pavilion once more to make the seal on forbidden skills. Manju accompanies her, and grandmother unlocks the door pattern. She makes a seal in the room and returns to Manju's room. Manju assumes Zixuan entered the room, but when she walked to check who was there, she did not find anyone. To remove her doubt, she goes to prison to meet Zixuan. She respectfully narrates her doubt, but he frowns at her assumption. Manju apologizes and returns to her chamber. The people of Fulong State hate sorcerers for spreading chaos and fear in public. Therefore, assuming Huy and his friends are sorcerers roaming the city in plain clothes, they throw garbage over them. They go to the ghost market to look for a clue. Suddenly, a mad sorcerer puts a sword on a mercenary's neck and demands everything he has. He hands over the money, but Huy discovers that he sells illegal red powder. Soon they find the sorcerer's house and threaten to demolish his house with a sword's blow. Terrified by their attack, the sorcerer falls to his knees to apologize. In fact, he put on a mad sorcerer's disguise to loot the merchant. After retrieving the money, Huy declares to give it to the poor and needy instead of returning it to greedy merchants. On the other hand, Manju realizes that someone has been invading the secret chamber, because the demons on records are far fewer than those captured in reality. She hurriedly walks towards her grandmother to reveal her doubts, but Zixuan grabs her and casts a secret spell that vanishes her in light particles. The whole day's drill of patrolling the city drains Brick and Huy's energy. They grab a bun to eat from Zenong's basket. Later, Huy sleeps, and a mad sorcerer grabs his neck to suffocate him. Luckily, Brick hears his wheezing voice and gets rid of the sorcerer. It looks as if he is under spell, hence, they follow him. They watch him enter Yanlao Hall. The sorcerer vanishes behind a wooden wall. Huy puts his hand on its knob, and it rotates to open. But before proceeding, Brick makes a mark on the wall that lets anyone know they entered inside. Surprisingly, they see Zai draining souls out of numerous sorcerers' bodies. Suddenly, Huy finds that Zai is the same man who appeared at his house the day his mother vanished. They are about to return, but Brick's brick falls down, making a prominent noise. On the other hand, a soldier reports to Zixuan that 3 friends sneaked into the Yanluo Hall. A group of sorcerers reports to him a few moments later that a secret door with markings was discovered inside the hall. They suspect 3 friends must have entered there. Zixuan immediately entered the door and saved his friends, who indulged in fights with bewitched sorcerers. Finally, all friends defeat the sorcerers, and Zixuan wants to know the reason for Zai's hideous plan. Zai hates when sorcerers build their reputations by killing a large number of demons. They do not have their own achievements other than that, while there are good demons as well who get assassinated in this process. Zai wants sorcerers from the high thorns of their respectful reputation that they have secured for hundreds of years. Huy reminds him that his sick actions, including making sorcerers mad, are unjustifiable sins. He decides to fight and kill Zai to maintain 3 Hall's reputation and dignity. Zai uses his magic stick to bring dead sorcerers back to life. They start fighting, but noticing that Huy and his friends are quickly killing them and are very close to reaching him, Zai vanishes in the air. At the same time, the secret room starts falling apart. They run to save their lives, and a white tiger runs towards a safer place. The chief of Yanluo receives the news of a massive fight in the hall. His son shares the news and asks him to take action against Zai as he is proven to be an evil man. Otherwise, the capital will fall out of their hands. But the chief refuses to take any action and advises the son to look calm and composed. Brick and Zenong leave Huy and Zixuan alone to clear up the misunderstandings. Huy wants to know why Zixuan stabbed him on exam day. Every day, he loved and trusted him like his brother. Finally, Zixuan reveals the truth about primordial spirits in his family. The one who stabbed Huy was his twin primordial spirit, Yan. This curse allows only one spirit to live in the body while the other spends their entire life in the spirit-locking mirror. His twin spirit brother is Yan, and on exam day, Yanren broke the mirror. Hence, Yan's spirit took over his body that day. Later, when Zixuan sensed that Yanren would harm Huy after her victory, he sent him away from the capital. Huy feels sorry to hear that Yan is locked once again and finds the situation too complicated for twin brothers. That day, Huy revealed to Zixuan that he was actually a demon, which he found after Yimei activated Furba in his body and his memories came back. But Zixuan already knew when he saw Huy's demon tail on the day Yan captured his spirit. Zixuan has no objection to being a friend of a demon, as he believes there are good and bad demons. Brick and Zenong return to enjoy their reunion. Huy smiles to see the crane hanging from Zixuan's side. Zixuan reveals his findings about Zai and Yimei collaborating and raising demons. Not only that, Yimei killed Ximen and used her disguise. Huy assumes that installing Furba in his body must also be part of her plan. Knowing that he became a victim, Huy wants to come up with a solution to get rid of Furba. He discloses his secret meeting with Yimei after the exam. She promised him that activating all stages of Furba would give him immense power to kill all demons. On the other hand, Elder Master informs us that behind all the actions, Yimei's mission is to activate Furba using Huy. She immediately reaches Huy, who wants to separate Furba from his body and disrupt Yimei's plan. But the Elder Master warns Huy, as Furba is like a body part after activating 2 stages. Tearing to separate it can ruin Huy's life. Elder Master and Grand Motaire cast a spell in unison to activate the separation skill. Huy focuses too, but Furba fights back, causing Huy immense pain. Grand Motaire stops the spell, but now Huy tries to take it out, and in this attempt, he falls unconscious. He sees Yimei in front of him in his unconsciousness. Yimei mocks him for making futile efforts to separate Furba, which is already merged inside. In a surge of anger, Huy tries to punch her, but she vanishes. Now Huy's surroundings change once again. In the strange land, he finds himself standing beside a noisy river. Now Yimei lures him by saying that she will tell him where his mother is. In return, he will not resist activating the last stage of Furba. Anka again disagrees and steps forward to attack, but Yimei disappears. Now he opens his eyes in the room where Yimei threatens Huy that she won't let him die until the activation of the last stage of Furba. Yimei walks outside and confronts grandmother, who is waiting for her with others. She politely asks Yimei to confess her crimes, and she will spare her life. However, arrogant Yimei tries to cast a spell on grandmother. Before she could do so, grandmother used a spirit-locking formation spell. Anyone who tries to escape this formation loses all its powers. At the same time, Yimei's loyal servant jumps and tries to break the formation with his knife. Fairy warns him, but he keeps hitting the formation, refusing to stay away. Grandmother casts a deadly spell that kills him. He was the one who loved Yimei Fairy at every moment. She remembers that they spent many decades together. Fairy found him as a little boy on the street, and now she will be alone once again without him. Anger boils inside her, and she resolves to take her grandmother's life at every cost. Yanren secretly sees her locked behind the formation. No one could know anything about Fairy. Besides, they don't know what the connection is between Yimei Fairy and Jai Zai. Grandmother sends a message for Chief to return before it's too late. They have to protect the formation at every cost. She orders Zixuan to tighten the security around the formation. Knowing Yimei's cunning nature, they expect she will try to break the formation using a space-splitting blade. That night, a sharp blade attacked the guards on Yimei's security. Yanren kills all the guards and breaks the formation using a blade in her hand. But before that, she makes sure their deal is still intact. Huy and Zenong scold Brick for yawning and looking restless while walking in the street. That way, they cannot focus on work and ask Brick to take a rest and then return. Brick turns to go home and wonders if he can get the special porridge from his hometown. A troop follows him to the home, and before he enters the house, a bowl of hot porridge from his hometown is waiting for him. He suspiciously looks for the person who cooked him the porridge but finds no one. After eating the delicious porridge, Brick sleeps peacefully when the same troop cleans the sweat from his forehead. The soldier Zio has been protecting Brick on the order of his father, who is the king of GER state. His concerned father cannot compromise on his safety, and the same soldier has been accompanying Brick ever since he started residing in Fulong state. It angers Brick that his father always focused on reading and writing, while he must have known martial arts too. Zio assures him that the king must have sincere intentions behind this one too. Brick is pleased that Zio will be around him, but he dislikes the way he calls him with the royal title. Then he asks Zio for royal titles. Brick misses his father, but he doesn't want to return to his boring homeland. Besides, he is happy with his friends and refuses to return. He only wishes to eat the porridge each day. Thus, Zio hands over the porridge he brought and walks away. Fairy and Yanren break the additional protective seal on the entryway of the secret chamber. Yimei remembers the day she saved the first Kai family's baby in the ship with a twin primordial spirit. Before long, Yimei breaks the protective seal around the spirit mirror and takes it away. As soon as she breaks the seal, grandmother feels a pang of intense pain and finds a drop of blood on her hand. That is a sign someone has trespassed on the seals. Hence, she runs towards the secret chamber, and the open door assures her that someone left just a moment ago. She asks Zixuan to quickly find his spirit mirror, or she will no longer be able to protect him. Yimei and Jai Zai meet secretly, as they are so close to accomplishing their goal now. In the last 60 years, they have tried several ways to activate the Furba but have failed. Now, after the activation of the last stage, the capital will be destroyed, and Yimei does not want Jai Zai to flick from the plan. She makes sure Jai Zai has no patriotic feelings for his homeland. After getting fresh, Brick joins Huy and Zenong. Zenong can sense the danger approaching the capital and wishes the chief to return soon to take protective measures. There is no way they can capture the cunning Yimei again. Huy says that she promised him to help him find his mother in the state after activating the final stage of Furba. Since Jai Zai and Yimei mostly conspired in Yanluo Hall, they plan to search for it first. Even though it was converted into ruins after their last fight with Jai Zai, they are sure they can find a clue. The troops look for Yimei and Jai Zai everywhere by showing their pictures everywhere in the capital, but find no leads. While walking in the streets of the capital, Zixuan finds a fairy and starts following her. But he does not know that Yimei has deliberately taken him into her adobe. He enters her house on the mountain, filled with a number of statues. Yimei's voice attracts him, and he finds her combing a statue. Zixuan threatened to kill her if she did not return his spirit mirror. Yimei immediately throws a magic spell at Zixuan that throws him to the ground. At the same time, numerous statues come running and fall over his body. Over the years, Yimei has mastered the art of putting the spirits in the statues. On the other hand, Yanren reports to grandmother that she knows where they can find Yimei. Grandmother pays no attention. Instead, she wants to know the mole in the castle. Yanren reveals that if she does not pay attention to what she says, then Zixuan will be dead. On the mountain, she can find him with Yimei. Grandmother immediately orders the troops of Hall to prepare to go to the mountain to find Zixuan and his spirit mirror. Yanren brings grandmother to Yimei's mountain home. She refuses to return Zixuan's spirit mirror, as she planned to use it for her own good. Grandmother has no choice but to capture Yimei and attack her in a brawl. Suddenly, Yanren turns against Yimei, which surprises her. But from the beginning, Yanren only wanted to manipulate Yimei to earn the credit to capture Yimei. Hence, she prepared Zhu to be his ally. He agreed, but he feared the risk was too big. Wu arrives at the same time, but as they unite against her, Fairy sends many demons to attack them. With a firefight and immaculate skill, Granny and Yanren kill many demons. Grandmother immediately orders Yanren to bring the 3 main halls and leave her here. Instead of going herself, Yanren sends Wu to deliver the message. At the same time, Yimei brutally hits grandmother and throws her down the mountain. Forces from Tiangang Hall arrive to assist them, but they find Yanren lying injured. In the meantime, Yimei disappears. On Yanren's lead, they immediately set out to find grandmother, but they only find a few blood spots and her hair pins down the mountain. Zai remembers that 60 years ago, he was a lazy soldier, tired of patrolling the legendary sea for 20 hours a day. His supervisor often punished him. Then one day, he found an injured man on the ground and took him home. After feeding and bandaging the injured, the man introduced himself as the legendary Sea Wolf King. Because he is a demon, he was able to cross a sea full of heat and fire. Young Zai wishes to become great among all the soldiers. Wolf uses his powers to raise the legendary sea level. Zai informs the capital about the upcoming disaster ahead of time, earning a promotion. He is now an important man in the capital. But after a few days, he discovers strange facts about wolves from royal sorcerers. That wolf demon is hunting the demons around the city. They fear that the wolf demon will someday start hunting humans too, following its demon instinct. Hence, that day, he puts poison in Wolf's wine, not knowing that he is immune to poison. The deception breaks Wolf's heart, and he finds no reason that Zai should kill him, because he has been kind and because Zai is in a good place. In addition, he never hurt anyone. But Zai shows his distrust for him for being a demon and stabs Wolf's back. Once again betrayed by the first human he met on the land, Wolf gets so angry now. He sucks the spirit out of Zai's body and uses his body to live as a human. To this day, it is a wolf living as Zai. On the other hand, Huy goes to search the ruins of Yanluo Hall with his friends. Zintong flinches at the demon's destruction of the hall. She believes that eliminating all the demons immediately is necessary to prevent further harm. However, Brick makes a gesture that reminds her that Huy is also a demon in reality. She changes her statement, saying that only bad demons deserve assassinations. They move forward and find the scratches on the stone. A white tiger appears to have scratched the surface before moving forward. In front of them, they find a hole where they assume the tiger would have escaped on the day of destruction. But before they could enter and search the territory thoroughly, they heard the noise outside. Numerous demons attack the entire city. Together with the royal sorcerers, they protect the citizens. The citizens run to save their lives, and it's like the whole capital has fallen. Suddenly, the chief commander of Yanluo Hall stops them from fighting by making a gesture with his hand. At the same time, Huy sees Zixuan walking in the crowd and follows him. He keeps calling his name, but he does not respond. By that time, Chief returns to the capital with his forces and confronts Zai on a vast plain. He can't believe his esteemed master was behind all the destruction up until now. But his master, Zai, still adores him and warns him to stay away. However, Chief aligns his sorcerers to fight back the demons until the last breath. They create a front row force to guard the legendary sea formation. On the other hand, Yan, who's now living in Zixuan's body, sets a secret chamber on fire. Huy wants to know why he is behaving differently and realizes that he is not Zixuan. He desperately wants to know where his friend is, and Yan throws the mirror in his hand, saying that his friend is inside it. Heartbroken, unaware of the flames surrounding him, Huy gathers the broken pieces of the mirror. He wants to bring back his friend, but Brick takes him away to save his life. Zintong wants to take a group of 3 sisters to the people inside Tiangang Hall, while she will lure the demons along with a few others to save people. On the other hand, Zio stops Brick from jumping into the capital's fight. He is protecting Brick and doesn't want him to get into foreign fights. But Brick does not listen and runs to help the troubled citizens. Zintong saves a little baby in the corner, and Ryan tries to shift her to a safer place, while the chief sees his troops falling quickly before attacking demons. She wants his best sorcerers to guard the formation and refrain from fighting. but sorcerers choose to fight the devil, Zai Zai, and leave their place. One of them stabbed Zai Zai in the back, but he did not know that, as a demon wolf, he was immune to knife stabs. In the next blow, Zai Zai kills the best royal sorcerers, while the chief of Yanliu Hall escapes the city with his son, taking all the wealth he has. Suddenly, his box of jewels falls, and a few people loot it from the ground. Now they team up with a few officials and decide to hide in Tiangeng Hall, which is still guarded by a few sorcerers. Zintong injures herself after killing 3 demons in her path, but she keeps walking towards Tiangeng Hall. Grandmother is nowhere to be found, and Chief leaves the legendary C's formation to confront his master, Zai Zai. He uses the whip and wraps it around Zai Zai, but as he is the one who taught him the trick, he dodges the attacks. But finally, Zai Zai falls down. He gets up and aggressively assaults the chief from both sides. The chief could not stand the attack and fell down. He spits blood, and Master Zixuan suggests he leave the beetle field. These weak humans do not deserve his protection. However, Chief resolves to fight for his people and gets up once more. Now, he uses every drop of his spirit essence to fight against Zixuan. Zai Zai warns him to reserve his power, but Chief learned the lesson from Zai Zai in childhood: never accept defeat. Now he grabs Zai Zai and uses the bone whip method Zai Zai taught him in childhood. He reminded me how he wanted to be the best to protect his people and the city. This was the sole focus of his training. Hence the chief hugs Zai Zai and jumps into the burning, legendary sea. Soldiers inform each other of the chief's death but refuse to leave the formation. They want to guard the legendary sea's formation till the end of their lives, like their chief. On the other hand, Zontong takes people to Tiangeng Hall, but guards refuse to grant entry. She knows she can't fight numerous guards to enter. Thus, she persuades them that the people are the ones who built the city hall's security. She and the other royal sorcerers agree to take the blame if anyone confronts them and take action against the guards on this matter. The guards stand down while Yanren cries, seeing the city's destruction. She screams at Ime after finding that no one found grandmother's body. A demon approaches the royal sorcerer Wu and is about to kill him. Wu had an old rivalry with this demon and feels so sorry for leaving the pervert demon alive. All of a sudden, the demon's body vanished into the air. Surprisingly, Zintong killed him using her sharp spear, regardless of Wu's unjust behavior towards her and her friends. On the other hand, Huy could not believe he had lost Zixuan for eternity. He keeps looking at the broken pieces of the spirit mirror in disbelief. From the front side of the street, he sees Yan coming, and he attacks him with enormous rage. Yan overpowers himself and points his sharp blade at Huy's chest. With his powers, Huy manages to keep the blade away from his body. Yan's amazement is limitless to see Huy's loyalty towards Zixuan, and he hates it. He gives Huy a choice to say Zixuan is a hypocrite if he wants Yan to spare his life. Instead of obeying Yan to save his life, Huy tells the truth: Zixuan is better than Yan in every aspect, and hypocrites and liars deserve to be alone. That enrages Yan, and he inserts the sword in Huy's chest. Huy falls down, and in his unconscious state, he sees the destruction in the city. Amid all the chaos, Yan kills Zintong, but as soon as he approaches her, she shouts at him to stay away. Because he is not Huy, he is a demon. Once more, Yan kills Brick, and before death, he pushes him away in disbelief as he looks like a demon. Now Huy watches himself in another dream, and his tiger tail reappears, and he uses his whole force to kill Yan. But looking at the injured Yan, he realizes that he actually hurt Zixuan's body, but Yan dies too. Angry and sad, Huy grabs his Furba in the dream. In reality, the Furba recovers Huy's chest wound, and Huy opens his eyes with the Furba in his hand. Now he throws Yan on the ground using the enormous power of his Furba. He could kill Yan with a single blow from Furba, but at the same time, Ime Fairy takes Furba from his hand. She declares that now that the last stage of Furba has activated, he is useless. She throws Huy on the roof. His body hurts, and he is about to crash his bones by falling down. But at the same time, a strange tiger stands below, and his body falls on the tiger's back. She is the nine-tailed tiger and Huy's mother. Huy opens his eyes and looks at her with immense love. But suddenly Cheng and a bunch of royal sorcerers surround him. They refuse to let go of the 10,000-year-old tiger demon and want to assassinate it. But Zintong stops their way and aids Brick in fleeing with Huy. Sad and angry at the loss of grandmother, Yanren finds Ime on the streets. She wants to end the unfaithful fairy for killing her grandmother, but each attempt seems futile. Finally, Fairy throws Yanren on the ground, and her mouth bleeds. Suddenly someone comes flying, throws a pointed object at Fairy, and takes Yanren away. At the same time, royal sorcerers and Cheng decide to stay on the Brick's door until they hand over the but Brick is ashamed of them, as they must be guarding needy and weak people from the capital. But stubborn Brick orders a sorcerer to light the fire at the front door so they can keep walking the tiger until it comes out. Fairy quickly wants to take the Furba to the legendary site. Suddenly, Yan stops her, as he wants to know the reason for creating twin primordial spirits. Ime promises the answers, but she asks him to first walk with her to the legendary sea. Huy talks with tears in her eyes to her mother, the nine-tailed tiger. He assures her that he will find a way to make her human again. While the royal sorcerers realize they must leave Brick's house to help the general public, they return. Ime changes the tiger demon into fumes and encloses it in her small vessel. Then she takes Yan along and rides a dragon to reach the legendary sea. A number of sorcerers are still protecting the formation at legendary sea, but suddenly their bodies disappear the same way the tiger demon disappeared. Brick lets Zenong know that Zixuan's spirit mirror is broken and he is dead by now. On the other hand, the elders of Dishahal get the report of the deaths of Grand Motair and Elder Master. Also, Zixuan was watched on Dragon with Ime. The elders of Dishahal plan a scheme to get rid of the king's wrath at the end of battle. They sent the troops to take Ime, who was saving and helping the people on the streets. The Council of Elder Sorcerers allocates the duties of Brick, Wu, and others in the absence of the first and second masters. In the end, they cunningly want to make one of them commander-in-chief. But Brick suggests making Zenong commander-in-chief, which angers Cheng. But they accept the suggestion and promote Zenong. Later, Zenong holds a meeting with elder sorcerers and suggests attacking Defang Valley. That way, they can defeat Ime and destroy her plan. But the elders are not ready to leave the capital and get themselves into trouble. Hence, they try to avoid it by suggesting rebuilding the capital and staying here instead. Zenong walks away after telling them to rethink their decision. As she goes, Cheng enters the chamber and tells the elder sorcerers that he saw a nine-tailed tiger. She is Huy's mother, and Huy is not an ordinary boy. They immediately ordered the arrest of Huy. Next day, Cheng arrests Huy for killing sorcerers in the capital. With a number of royal sorcerers, he arrests Huy at his home and takes him to the royal prison. As soon as Zenong and Brick get the information about his arrest, they immediately reach out to visit him in prison. But Cheng has given strict orders to the guards that they will not allow anyone to enter inside, even though Zenong holds the rank of commander-in-chief. Regardless, they stop her outside for being the companion of a guilty individual in capital. Zenong tries to enter using force, but Brick pushes her away. He looks at the scenario differently and shares his opinion. The Council of Elders is not happy with her being commander-in-chief. Hence, if she tries to force her way inside for a criminal, they will present this as an excuse to put her in prison too. So he suggests thinking wisely to save Huy. On the other hand, the Council of Elders wants to kill Huy to save their face in front of the public. That way, they will successfully fulfill the public demand to arrest and kill the assassinating sorcerers. Moreover, they do not need any excuse to execute Huy, as he is a demon. They invite Cheng to ask for his opinion. But aside from being an arrogant companion, Cheng only wants Huy's reincarceration. To save him from immediate execution, he suggests waiting until his friends arrive to pursue him. Then they will finish everyone. Huy could not move in the prison cell, but he wants to fight for his life and freedom. Hence, he eats the food portion kept in his cell. Suddenly, a sorcerer opens the door of his prison cell and suffocates him with a rope. Huy tries to be free by pushing him away. But in the meantime, he starts losing his consciousness. That moment, his demonic capabilities take over, and with a mighty force, he throws the killer away. At the same time, Brick and Zenong enter, but he cannot recognize them. He tries to kill Zenong, then throws Brick away. After a moment, he regains his consciousness and is surprised to discover that he tried to kill his own friends. It embarrassed him so much, but that's happening because his Furba is taken away. Zenong does not want to mess up Huy's brain and decides to follow the assassin first. She suspects the man belonged to the group of royal sorcerers. The assassin, on the other hand, reports the failure as Huy overpowered him and attempted to kill him. Zenong quickly reaches the hall, taking Huy and Brick with her. She brings the rope as the murder weapon along and points at the man who tried to kill Huy. Zenong reminds us that it is beyond the law to kill a person who has not been proven guilty yet. Moreover, they sent the personal assassin away after removing the guards on duty. The sorcerer has seen Huy turn into a demon and wants the Council of Elders to punish him on that ground. But to save themselves, they framed the sorcerer instead, accusing him of a personnel grudge against Huy. After putting the sorcerer in lockup, they once again tried to conspire against Huy for being associated with the tiger demon. But Zenong reminds them how, countless times, he saved hundreds of innocent people in Ryan village and capital. Hence, they cannot punish him for having a connection with the tiger demon. Moreover, she asks them to take back their badge of Commander-in-Chief if she has to punish Huy. The Council of Elders startles at her anger. While Huy speaks up for himself, he says that as a demon grown among humans, he has never hurt anyone. However, the Council of Elders continues to doubt that he will not harm anyone in the future. Suddenly, a number of royal sorcerers arrive to favor Huy. Each one of them belongs to a different hall. They bear witness to Huy's good and helpful nature, as Huy has saved them in many previous battles. With a number of witnesses standing in front of them, the Council of Elders finds no way to further keep Huy in prison. They unwillingly declare Huy innocent and give back the badge of Commander-in-Chief to Zenong. Later, the Council of Elders decides to trap Huy wisely next time. On his way back, Huy tells the sorcerers that the person in Zixuan's face is not him. Brick excuses himself to talk to his guard from CR1NE state. The situation was peaceful previously when he chose to live elsewhere, but he makes Brick realize that in hard times he has to be in his state. Huy is really worried that he turned into a demon today and tried to kill Zenong. He pleads with Zenong to kill him if he ever turns against his friends again. Later, he walks in the street and looks at the broken piece of the spirit mirror as he badly misses Zixuan. On the other hand, Yanren regains her consciousness and finds herself at an unknown house with an unknown girl. She is concerned for her well-being. Huy reaches Yanlu Hall's ruins and misses Zixuan when he hears his voice. Surprisingly, it's coming from a statue. He hears the story of how his spirit is captured in the statue now. Huy tells Zixuan that things are fine everywhere. When he says that Zenong is Commander-in-Chief, Zixuan feels suspicious about the well-being of his family. But Huy lies, saying that he does not much know the situation in the three halls. Later, he brings Zixuan home by putting the statue on his shoulder. They feel sorry for his situation and want to know if there is a way to get his body back. This time, he is not eager to get his body back. Because of that, Yan has to keep his primordial spirit somewhere. He felt sorry for him and did not want to end things like this between both brothers. At last, he is his brother, and he made the wrong choice when Yan was first trapped in the spirit mirror. Besides, he can hardly move his body, and Brick promises to find a way through magic that would allow him to move his body. About his family, Zenong says that the first and second commanders got injured in a fight, while Yanren witnessed royal sorcerers looting the Tiangang Hall. They know now that one is here to lead. But suddenly they see her and run to arrest her, as she has committed war crimes. Yanren escapes from their sight. Huy gets Zixuan's statue dressed in black. He tries to cheer himself up by making jokes. Yanren hides from the sorcerers and finds the same girl who saved her life confronting her. She reprimands her for becoming the reason for the fall of the Kai family. Had she not conspired with Yimei, everyone would have been alive. Yanren drinks alcohol to forget the mistakes he has committed. However, the young girl prevents her from hiding. Yanren says she did all this to win grandmother's heart, because all her life, no matter what she did, her grandmother never approved. A young girl feels sorry for herself and is motivated to learn from her mistakes. She should not hide and make her enemies happy. But Yanren feels low for hiding in the streets like a rat and living the life of an ordinary girl. But the young girl wants her to get up and atone for her mistakes. Yanren cries about not understanding what to do. That night, a young girl meets Mo. She is, in fact, a grandmother. Mo found her body lying in the mountains and brought it back with him. Using forbidden magic to resurrect the souls, he revived her, but it revitalized her too. Grandmotaire feels sorry for Mo if using forbidden magic hurts him. Mo is unaware of this. He also doesn't know how the magic will affect her body. But he can't give her the original face. Without that appearance, no one in the Council of Elders will accept her, and she cannot save the capital. She knows that the Council of Elders consists of people who do not want to do anything for the public's betterment. However, Mo has prepared a few papers for her entry into the Disa Hall. The grandmother wants Mo to hide her real identity from Yanren. Mo briefs about Zenong's exceptional capabilities to save countless people in the Fulong state in chaos. That's why she was appointed Commander-in-Chief. Later, grandmother takes the box and goes, taking Mo's advice to be careful. But grandmother is fearless now after losing her one life. Mo sadly misses Miao Miao, as he would revitalize Miao Miao if he could. Later, Brick's guard advised them to limit Zixuan's movement in the statue. That way, they will quickly deplete primordial spirits. But in Brick's opinion, keeping him idle and study will also do him no good. As always, the servant never fails to remind Brick to return to his state in the hard times to help his people. Outside the house, Huy teaches Zixuan to walk in the statue, and he falls down after getting tired. Huy tries to comfort him initially, but he knows there is no way to cheer him up, as he is totally helpless without his body now. Commander-in-Chief Zhao sits sadly in front of a grave. He built the memorial tomb of his first master, Zixuan, who was his lifelong companion since the beginning. He remembered that she was a courageous lady who chose to appear in an exam against her family's will. To accompany her, Zhao followed her to the capital, and ever since they have been together through ups and downs. He always saw her as the leader and followed her footprints. Now sitting on her grave, he pledges to take revenge from her enemies. She holds her hairpin in his hand, which he found where Yimei threw her down the mountains. Then he blows the paper birds with magic. Brick makes a rough plan on paper to connect Kainyu State and Fulong State through a bridge. But since the sea is full of flames, they are doubtful that they can make the bridge to reach Dianfeng Valley. Commander-in-Chief Zhao looks at the drawing, and with his experience, he assures that the distance to the valley is a lot more than revealed in the map. Brick realizes his mistake and puts the map aside. At the same time, Mo and grandmother enter the house. Mo introduces grandmother in the face of a young girl as his niece from his village named Lingjai. He shares that she knows the demons subduing magic and knows everything about Dianfeng Valley. Hence, she can help now, but as soon as she speaks, Zhao startles to hear her voice. He immediately nemesis Zixai's tribe and wants to know if she belongs to them. But she denies and appreciates their idea to cross the legendary sea. She reveals her disbelief in a council of elders and wants to destroy Yimei's plan. In her knowledge, Yimei has thrown Furba into the legendary sea. The first thing they want to do is reach Dianfeng Valley and get the Furba from the legendary sea. They appreciate Lingjai's knowledge, but Zhao is still doubtful that she resembles the first master. They reach the legendary sea, and as planned, they start searching for the fragment of red pearls. That way, they will use magic to cross the sea and reach Dianfeng Valley. The red pearl will form a miniature formation, helping them cross the sea. They ignore the burning heat around the legendary sea premises and begin sailing. After the long search, they only found low-quality fragments of red pearls. Afterwards, Huy takes Zixuan to teach long walks, but he falls in the mud. His spirit essence is depleting, and he is getting depressed. However, Huy tries to cheer him up and gives him a nice bath. Depressed by his inability to move or help, Zixuan thinks he is useless, and trying to help him is like chasing a lost cause. But Huy promises him that he will reach Dianfeng Valley and bring his body back. After putting his statue in the sun, Huy goes to rest on the rock. Suddenly, a snake approaches to bite, but Huy wakes up just in time and throws the snake away. He brings back Zixuan's statue, and Lingju asks about who he is talking to. He shares that his friend is trapped by demons in this body. Huy wants Lingjai to help if she can, but she only analyzes that much. His spirit has become so weak without a body, and he will not survive longer without it. Zixuan feels uneasy and touches Huy to take him back to the room. Huy brings him the brand new dress, just the way Zixuan used to wear it as a Kai family's prince. He approaches many tailors to stitch it, and finally he dresses Zixuan in this dress. However, depressed Zixuan requests that he leave him alone. Later, Brick and Zenong also go to cheer him up, but they cannot do anything as he does not allow them to enter. They know that Zixuan has not left much time, so they need to get the red pearls as soon as they can to reach Dianfeng Valley. Unfortunately, there is no alternate way to counter Yimei's plan. Hence, the next day, Brick sets off to Kainyu Valley without informing anyone with his guard. On the other hand, Huy and Zenong see Zixuan trying to walk alone in the room, but he is still not ready to talk. Leaving him alone in the room, they reach down the stairs and hear the royal sorcerers discussing that they saw Brick elope with a guard this morning. They know that there is a strong rivalry between Fulong State and Kainyu Valley. Hence, in their opinion, Brick's leaving without bringing it to anyone's notice is a sign of his betrayal. The royal sorcerers take leave afterwards, and Huy goes with Zenong to check if Brick is actually not in the room. Brick has left, as a matter of fact. Huy wants to follow him to find out why, but Zenong stops him, as they need to retrieve Furba from the legendary sea, and this is the most important matter to attend to right now. On the other hand, a few sorcerers work many hours and bring low-quality fragments of red pearls in a box. These are not only insufficient to make a formation but also make a very weak formation. Suddenly, Brick arrives with his guard, and he has a box full of 7 high-quality red pearls. Lingjai appreciates his timely help and wants to know how he got it. At that time, Brick could no longer hide his identity as the prince of the Kainyu tribe. He knew his tribe had red pearls, and he wrote a letter to his father to send them. Hence, he sent the pearls, and as soon as he got them, he returned. Surprised at the revelation that Brick was a prince, Huy and Zenong could not speak for a while. But then, Huy continues to quarrel with Brick for not informing them before leaving. They find that the man always following Brick is the royal guard appointed by his father. Lingjai appreciates his help, and the scene shifts when Zixuan watches Huy and Zenong talking in the darkness of night. They are concerned about Zixuan's depression. For the first time, he hears that Ime killed his grandmother and his father jumped into the legendary sea. Now he is the only survivor, but in this condition, without his body, he cannot do anything. Zixuan falls down to hear this, and they follow him immediately. He cries at losing his whole family, but Huy asks him to muster his courage and take revenge. Soon after that, Mo converts the 7 red pearls in the bracelet into a magic formation. This formation is sufficient to hold someone in it for 1 hour above the legendary sea. Afterward, it will vanish, and Zenong wants to go and cross the sea in it. But before she could say anything, Huy jumped into the formation. He demonstrates that his body is more flexible and capable of steering the formation in a better direction. While Zixuan mourns the deaths of the first and second masters in his room, he refuses to come out. On the other hand, Yanran goes to the grandmother's tomb and cries. She accuses her of ignoring her whole life. No matter what she did, she always wanted her other sister to survive the spirit locking ceremony. Suddenly, Zhao appears at Zisai's tomb and gets so angry to see Yanran there. It was her conspiracy that Zisai was not among them, and Ime succeeded. He angrily wants her to go away, as everyone in the capital is eagerly searching for her. But he does not want to arrest her, as she is the only survivor of the Kai family right now. But before her departure, she promises to bear the consequences of what she did after taking revenge. Afterwards, she asks him about their journey towards the Dianfeng Valley, but Zhao does not want to share any information. Hence, she leaves, saying that she won't go to the capital either. Zhao returns to the inn and finds a red pearl formation nowhere. He reaches out to Huy to ask if he has been practicing, and knows something about it. Even though he was practicing and his leg hurt, he does not know anything. Suddenly, Zenong and Brick join them in a hassle to tell them that Zixuan is not in the room. Huy immediately runs to assure his absence and understands that Zixuan must have left to dive in the legendary sea to risk his life. They quickly reach the legendary sea, but Zixuan has already activated the formation using the red peel and dived into the sea. When Huy reaches out to others, they find him nowhere. Knowing that the formation cannot last longer than an hour, they get worried about Zixuan's life. Suddenly, the red pearl formation appeared from the sea, but by opening it using magic, Mo only retrieves the Furba from it. While saving Zixuan, Huy jumps quickly into the sea before the time of formation ends. Soon, he finds Zixuan's spirit dying at the bottom of the legendary sea. However, his carrier statue has disintegrated. Huy, risking his life, puts his hand out of the formation to catch the spirit, which burns his hand slightly, but he quickly takes the spirit and comes out of the sea. Mo removes his spirit from the formation, and they return home. Now Lingjai uses the magic and brings Zixuan back to his original face, but it's only temporary. He reveals that he wanted to sacrifice his life because Huy has done a lot for him. Besides, now that he is only a burden, he cannot keep them engaged in searching for his body in Dianfeng Valley. He is so depressed that his whole family, including his father and grandmother, are dead, so there is no point in living. At this moment, Lingjai breaks into tears and reveals that she is his grandmother. Mo discloses the truth about using revival magic that transformed her body back to the time when she was 18. She wants him to live now, and Huy makes a promise to never leave the courage to live. Zixuan smiles, but at the same time, his body starts changing into sparkling fragments, which means his spirit is dissipating. They helplessly see Zixuan's body evaporating like fumes. The grandmother pleads with him to stay, but unfortunately, she cannot do anything for her grandson. Huy keeps watching his friend with teary eyes vanishing in front of his eyes. Just when they gave up the hope of Zixuan's life, Elder Master entered the house, claiming that he could save Zixuan. He started using the magical power that his Elder Master, Kai, gave him in Yime 500 years ago. Now is the time to use it, and the Elder Master uses all of his spirit energy to revive Zixuan. He finally comes back into his body, and Huy hugs him with immense happiness to see his friend safe and alive. But unfortunately, the Elder Master shares that the spirit lamp in Zixuan's body will only hold this temporary body for 39 days. Hence, if they want to keep Zixuan alive, they have to retrieve his original body before that. Elder Master tends to fall down to exhaustion after using his excessive energy. He recounts how Yan and Ime took him on the dragon to the Dianfeng Valley, but in the middle, they dropped him down and he ran to reach the capital. Hence, he reached here just in time, as he knew Zixuan's situation due to his deeper connection with the family. and he came to know that they were searching for Furba. Now Grandmotaire wants Zixuan to take a rest and regain his energy, and she comes out of the house with the elder master. He appreciated her juvenile look and remembered she was about the same age when she married in the Kai family. They had a great time as youngsters together. The past 500 years were glorious for the Kai family, and suddenly the whole family has fallen apart. Yimei wants to go to Dianfeng Valley to meet the master, who could not make it to the mainland. But he is unsure why Yimei wanted to activate Furba. Right now, they must leave what Yimei's intentions are and focus on activating Furba. The following morning, Huy could not find Zixuan in his room. They run to search for him and find him practicing swordsmanship out of town. Right now, he is reactivating himself and wants everyone to hide that he is not in his real body. At the same time, a royal sorcerer arrives with a message for Zenong to join the meeting to choose a commander. Later, Huy, Brick and Zixuan sit on the rock and enjoy their reunion. Zixuan promises that they tried to revive his body in every possible way, and he would have died if Huy was not by his side. Hence, he promises to protect himself and keep himself alive. On the other hand, the second master is so happy to find the first master in front of him. He is about to give her the hairpin found where Yimei killed her. But at the same time, Zenong joins them. The first master wants her to be commander, as she is the only one loyal and worthy to hold this position. Everyone in the Council of Elders is power-hungry. Zenong initially refuses, as her first goal is to go to Dianfeng Valley and get Zixuan's body before time runs out. But the first master made her rethink the decision, as she would get more power and help as commander. Alone, it would be impossible to reach Dianfeng Valley. Hence, she agrees to hold the commander's position. On the other hand, one man in the Council of Elders conspires to make Cheng their commander. But he knows that public opinion is with Zenong, as she helped everyone in the civil war. Zixuan runs in the forest to enhance his stamina and practices his skills with Zenong. But after a while, he tends to fall down. The elder master appears and advises him to use his stamina carefully, as this way he will consume his spirit energy more quickly. Elder Amster teaches him a few exercises, while the first master calls Huy to activate Furba, because he is the only person Yimei discovered in 500 years who could activate it. Thus, without immerging it in his body, Huy tries to activate it in his hands but does not succeed. On the other hand, a huge dragon carrying Yimei and Yan reaches the Dianfeng Valley. Yimei touches its ground as if she has found this land after so long. But Yan does not find anything special in this land. She wants Yan to keep walking silently if he has to know the secret of the primordial spirit. At the same time, numerous white demons emerge from the ground. It was impossible to finish them without knowing their weak spots. Hence, Fairy shouts to hit their ears to kill them. Yan and Fiery kill as many as they can. But before they approach the next couple of demons, Yimei's master appears. The first master tries using her spirit energy to activate Furba, but it's futile. Hence, she accompanies the second master to the collection pavilion to seek an alternate method of activating it. While Zenong hunts demons with Brick's guards, a number of people secretly aim at them to attack with arrows. Huy and Brick appreciate Zixuan's increased stamina after getting this body. His physical need to sleep, eat, and rest has significantly reduced now. Suddenly, they watch Brick's guard coming towards them with the help of a few people. He explains how few people followed them, hunting demons. They threw the poison pins, which left them unconscious. When he opened his eye, he found Zenong nowhere. Leaving Brick to take care of him, Zixuan and Huy run to find Zenong. At the same time, the Council of Elders called royal sorcerers to vote for Cheng as the new commander. They strongly oppose this decision, as they believe Zenong is a good fit for the position. Power-hungry elders mock Zenong for underperforming in the brief time of her leadership. While she is also a girl, they don't think she is worthy of this position. When the sorcerer refuses to stand beside Cheng, the elders threaten to remove them from the position of being eligible for commander. Another one suggests that she deserves to be promoted from her position because it has always happened in the past. Annoyed by their reasoning, the Council of Elders made a condition for Zenong to appear before Eunuch Liu before 3. At the same time, Cheng joins Tame in the hall. He is currently running a soup kitchen for the poor and needy. Hence, he shares that he will open another kitchen to provide food. Not only that, but the people want him to be commander. They present the written proofs showing thumbprints of people that he achieved. In fact, whenever a hungry person arrives to get soup, he forcibly leaves their fingerprints on the paper, which has written consent that they want him to be their commander. He hits poor people to achieve his goal. but the Council of Elders gets all the papers to directly show to His Majesty. That way, he will immediately appoint Cheng as commander. Cheng's father is so eager to appoint his son as chief commander that he urges him to stop waiting any longer. But this time, Wu interrupts and reminds them to wait until 3. In the meantime, 3 sisters decide to search Zintong before clock strikes 3. On the other hand, Huy and Zixuan keep searching for any evidence of where Zintong went. They find a badge fallen from royal sorcerers near the arrows. They want to reach her before the Council of Elders appoints Cheng as chief commander. Zintong is tied in a room, and her mouth is stuffed with clothes. Huy and Zixuan watch the guards guarding the room where they locked Zintong. The eager Council of Elders decides to go to Eunuch Liu because there are only 15 minutes left in 3. But Wu draws his sword as he wants to wait until the decided time. On the other hand, Zintong and Huy attack guards with small arrows. Later, they tie them tightly. By opening the room, they untie Zintong and run towards Tiangang Hall before it's too late. It's 3 o'clock, and Wu can't stop the Council of Elders from going to Eunuch Liu. He is happily about to report about his choice of person as chief commander when Eunuch Liu walks in. Cheng's father merrily puts forward the name of Cheng as commander, but Eunuch Liu orders him to bring forth the guards involved in kidnapping Zintong. He accuses the Council of Elders of conspiring and attempting to harm Zintong for the Cid position. He wants to hang each one of them 10 times. Initially, Cheng's father refuses to accept his crime, but when he hears about grave punishments, he admits that he conspired, but no one else was involved in his plan. But Eunuch Liu appoints Zintong as the new chief commander and leaves the hall after informing the Council of Elders. He will report the whole matter to His Majesty, who will decide their fate. All the members of the Council of Elders fall to the ground as they know they will receive tough punishment. Afterwards, Zintong, along with Huy, Brick, and Zixuan, go on a walk. They congratulate her for achieving her goal of entering her clan in Tiangang Hall, but she hopes that she will prove herself worthy to fulfill her responsibilities. Huy promises that he will be by her side no matter what. Like this video and let me know if you are excited for next part.